Tyler, I think that this film is kind of perfectly placed for you in the sense that, your mom's a singer-songwriter, your dad was a longtime police officer. Did you have conversations with them, or kind of just how did your upbringing kind of affect the way you interacted with the material?
Absolutely. I think I was pretty well versed on Billie from the musical side. And unfortunately, with my father and law enforcement, one of the first things that he taught me as I became of age, he taught me, I remember him sitting me down, he put handcuffs on me for the first time. He was like, I'm going to do this so that no one else ever has to do this. And you need to understand that as a Black man, you have to move differently than everybody else does if there's a target on your back. So to have somebody from inside at the NYPD at the time before he retired say that really set the stage for me with the stakes of any of these films. Remember the same thing happened when we did Detroit. Um, so it felt like it was an intersection for me in a lot of ways, of two worlds coming together, that I think everybody who ended up working on this film um, had either the background, the history, or just the very specific skill set to play the role that they did to make this the film that it is. And that's what it felt like it did for me.
He's the saxophonist and
Mhm.
longtime friend of Billie Holiday. And maybe talk to me a little bit about the importance of his relationship as a male in her life.
But in this film, particularly, I think we explore that quite a bit, where she has a bunch of, really dysfunctional relationships with men. And I feel like it was really important to have a platonic relationship with somebody who wasn't necessarily trying to take advantage of her or work an angle at all, but was just there to support and love her. And I think even towards the end, as he, kind of gets fed up with that dysfunction, um, Billie and Lester end up dying within 4 months of each other. That severing, in a lot of ways, severed things in them that they couldn't recover from. And I think we just need more of that. I think I was reading this, I was like, when have I ever seen a role or read for a role where someone was platonically in love with somebody? We show these things of like when there's love between a man and a woman, they have to be in love and in, physical relationship as well. I think we have to normalize platonic loving relationships more.
He wants to do what he feels is right. However, there's this pull between what legal and moral kind of within him. Will you talk to me about what's going on inside?
Like you said, there's this pull going on between legal and moral, and then at the same time, whether what's quote unquote legal is right. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of a threefold thing in that regard, that he was understanding what he thought to be right that was legal ends up not necessarily being, not even not right, but like not even humane in a sense. And so it was an interesting experience to try and toe that line of nuance and try and convey everything we could to the best of our abilities.